Vibrating wire collector to 485. Product usage and debugging. The following will be explained in 5 parts. 1. Hardware introduction and preparation. 2. Software introduction and preparation. 3. Actual operation introduction. 4. Common problem troubleshooting. Before debugging, let's first understand how the vibrating wire collector works and the data flow process. The vibrating wire collector periodically collects data from sensors and stores it in Modbus registers. A PC or client device accesses the device registers via the Modbus protocol to read and calculate the data, thereby obtaining the sensor-collected data. This device is widely used in engineering safety monitoring scenarios such as bridges, dams, building structures, slopes, tunnels, etc. It provides reliable technical support for the long-term health operation and safety early warning of infrastructure. 1. Hardware introduction and preparation. Before operation, prepare the following hardware equipment purchased from our company. Vibrating wire transmitter, terminal block, prepared by the customer. A computer, vibrating wire sensor, USB to 485 cable, power supply, hardware connection, demonstration. First, connect the vibrating wire sensor. The 8-channel collector can simultaneously connect 8 sensors. Each channel's terminal block has 5 interfaces. From left to right, temperature positive, temperature negative, shield, ground wire, vibrating wire positive, vibrating wire negative. When connecting the sensor, strictly follow the wiring rules. This is the sensor wiring diagram. The pin definitions and wiring methods for the 4-channel and 8-channel collectors are the same. Here are the power and 485 interfaces. Connect a USB to 485 converter here to link the computer with the device. Please note a wire to a wire, B wire to B wire, and distinguish positive and negative poles. Connect a 624V power supply up to 30 volts. After connection is complete, power on the device. This is the power and serial port wiring diagram. 2. Software introduction and preparation. Contact support for configuration software. Open the downloaded configuration software. Find the serial port driver. Find this application and click. Keep clicking next to complete installation. The subsequent steps will not be demonstrated. The serial port can be emulated via the configuration cable. Right-click this PC. Click Manage, Device Manager, Ports, to check if the serial port driver is installed. Serial port selection and parameter configuration. The 485 vibrating wire collector has 2 acquisition methods: high voltage excitation and low voltage frequency sweep. 2 software programs are provided for these 2 acquisition methods. Users can select the software to configure parameters according to the device type. Here, the high voltage excitation acquisition method. Open the high voltage excitation configuration software. Select the serial port emulated by the setup cable and open the serial port. First, configure the basic parameters. The Modbus device address is the first byte in the Modbus protocol data frame. It is an 8-bit slave node identifier with a value range of 1-247. The default serial port rate and parity are 9600 and none, respectively, and must match the device settings. This displays the current device firmware version number. The acquisition interval is the time interval in seconds for the device to automatically wake up and perform acquisition and transmission. This is the sensor coefficient. Configuration area. Configure various core parameters according to the specific project monitoring requirements and installation environment. The device type is set at the factory. Use Enter Upgrade mode with caution. After clicking Enter Upgrade, you must Wait for the upgrade to complete before exiting. After upgrading, both basic and sensor parameters will be cleared and need to be rewritten. If using the low voltage frequency sweep acquisition method, also set the start and stop frequencies to determine the sweep excitation range. Excitation time is the duration for which excitation energy is applied to the sensor. The stability coefficient is the threshold for determining whether the frequency measurement result has reached a stable convergence state. Generally, the sensor defaults are sufficient. 3. Actual operation introduction. Confirm the device is correctly connected. When all parameters are set, the device starts collecting data. You can use a serial debug assistant to send commands and obtain corresponding data from the device. Select the correct serial port, baud rate, etc., and open the serial port to send commands. For example, to obtain the vibrating wire and temperature data for the first channel, according to the register correspondence table, send 010310000002 to the device. This will retrieve the vibrating wire and temperature data for the first channel. Other data can be obtained in the same way. You can also use Modbus poll software to obtain the data, which parses the data more intuitively. Select the correct serial port, baud rate, parity, etc. Then configure the connection parameters. Correctly fill in the device address, function code, etc. according to the register correspondence table in the manual. Select the register address and quantity to read, and click OK. The corresponding vibrating wire and temperature values will be displayed. The specific protocol is in the Vibrating Wire Collector to 485 product manual. 4. Common problem troubleshooting. The software shows no response at all. No data in the print area. Check if the power supply is working properly and whether the voltage is within the 624V DC range. Confirm that the correct serial port is selected in the software. Check if the cable is broken or has poor contact. Readings are highly volatile and unstable. Ensure the sensor wires and signal lines are away from strong interference sources such as frequency converters, and use shielded cables with single-ended grounding. Next, check the power quality. Excessive ripple can cause reading jumps. The above is the complete process of using and debugging the Vibrating Wire Collector to 485.